Ah, greetings, B-movie aficionados.
Hello, welcome to A Couple of Flicks. I am Tristan.
I'm Nick.
Yeah, so today is we're talking about, I guess, I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's kind of a thriller. So
Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, what do they genreize it? Yeah,
Yeah,
is
I
that a
guess
word? Genreize?
or categorize it.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay. That makes
yeah,
more sense. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess it could be considered suspense
They
in a
say
way.
IMDb calls it a drama and a thriller.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it does definitely has elements. I'd say it leans more toward drama than thriller. It doesn't really become a thriller until like the end, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, before we chat about our pick of choice, or your pick of choice, I guess it would be. Before we talk about it, let's talk about things we've watched recently. I watched that new horror movie, Talk to Me.
Oh,
I
nice.
think that's what it's called. Talk to Me. Yeah, Talk to Me. I watched that. Yeah, I started watching it last night and I fell asleep because it kind of starts off sort of slow,
Hmm.
But yeah, then I finished it today, and yeah. So I think I got the general gist of it now. I think it probably would have been a movie that would have been better to watch in one sitting, actually. So because it took me a minute to sort of catch up a little bit on what was happening. So
Mm.
um but it was good. I more or less would probably put it at the same level as like follows, as far as like those kinds of horror movies go. Like it's pretty cool. Like the concept's kind of interesting. Then like toward the end, it kind of goes a little overboard for me, just because like
Yeah.
I kind of like horror movies when when like you don't quite know what the characters are up against, and or how like benevolent the evil force might be, or in this case, it's like ghosts from the spirit dimension, right?
Hmm.
And it's a creepy idea, and the film actually does do some pretty like unconventional things with it, like with the idea. It goes off the rails relatively early on, and so you're never really quite know exactly, like you never quite know how far it's going to go, or what kind of crazy stuff is going to happen next. So it's a good movie in that sense, but at the end they kind of just sort of explain everything and summarize everything, and it kind of wraps up really quickly. So that was sort of the one thing I didn't really quite like about it. Like the ending was, I kind of saw the ending coming a little bit, just like the last moment, like as soon as I got like the idea of what was happening at the end, because at the end it goes into like the more ghostly world type of territory, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
Yep.
I'm really trying my best not to spoil it, because it is actually a well done movie,
Yeah, I
and
liked it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you saw it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. So you kind of did. So how did you feel about it?
Um, yeah, I liked it a lot. Um,
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
yeah, the concept was interesting, and then I did, yeah, I agree. I say I saw the ending coming and stuff. It was pretty.
Yeah. Once she saw the light, I knew, like, kind of. I mean, should we just spoil it? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. I thought everything was really cool up until like the part where she goes to the hospital, and then like at that point I kind of had a general idea of what was probably going to happen next, and at the end when she's like in the ghost world or whatever, and she sees the light, like I just knew as soon as that happened, like she was gonna meet somebody who would be a potential host, and at that point I was like, all right, well, I mean, it's still a cool idea. But it also kind of brings up a lot of other complications, I guess, in a
Oh,
way.
I
Like,
did like that ending. That was neat. But
oh,
I
that
was
was cool. Yeah.
I was talking about like she probably wasn't talking to her mother the
Oh,
whole time. Like
yeah, I
I saw
agree.
that coming, yeah. And the shit
Yeah.
with the other kid was brutal too. That was insane.
Oh, yeah, that was really heart wrenching. They did a good job. Like it with this film, they did a really good job making you feel really bad for the characters, because I definitely felt bad for him. Because you could tell he just wanted to fit in, and then ended up like getting it worse than pretty much anybody in the movie, I would say.
Yeah.
That looked painful. um
And I also didn't understand their thinking to how they would try and get him out by doing it again with him like being unconscious. Like
oh, yeah.
because they have to say like those words or whatever, like I let you in or whatever, and like
Yeah, yeah, talk to
how is
me.
he gonna say that when he's like passed out and shit?
Yeah,
And it
like
didn't work,
it
obviously. So
it didn't. And I like that the film actually kind of showed the characters get it, like how like they're desperate. It did a good job portraying like the desperation of their situation, and like in that sense I thought the film worked really good as like a metaphor for like addiction,
mhm.
which I think is kind of what they were aiming for, but there was also like a depression angle going on too.
Yeah. I definitely saw
um
the depression angle for sure.
yeah, but that one guy that they talked to, he spelled out the whole idea right then and there. Like the best way to avoid it making your life worse is to just stop doing it altogether and stop saying "talk to me," and because that's what like kept on like she kept on doing it more and more, and every time she got she did it, like she'd see more ghosts, and they'd start affecting her life more and more and start confusing her. Like it's like a film about the idea that like people get really attached to death and start
Yeah.
believing more in like the idea of death than what they see it with their own two eyes,
And
like in
even
real life.
even the first time too, she broke that like 90-second rule or whatever.
Yeah, like she was already pushing it, so
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was good though. Like I like that. I also like that none of the characters were good characters. Basically, like,
Yeah.
I love horror movies like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think at the end, yeah, I just felt like it escalated so quickly. Like after she stabs her father, um, like it was kind of, I couldn't really follow her anymore. I couldn't really feel her vibe anymore. She kind of lost
Mhm.
me by that point, and instead I kind of cared more about just like what was going to happen. And it's the same thing that happened when I watched It Follows. Like then that's kind of what I meant. Like right at the end when they decide, oh, let's find a way to kill it with the pool and all that stuff, like that's when I just was like, all right, well, now I'm kind of not really feeling like I can relate to the characters anymore. So now I'm just going to watch what happens next.
Yeah.
So, um, so but at the same time, I also feel like the fact that my viewing was kind of interrupted by myself, probably impacted it. So I would say like out of the three horror films that came out in the last like 10 years that were directed by funny people, which I guess would be like Get Out and Barbarian, and then this.
Who
I'd say my
directed
favorite.
this?
This was by a couple of YouTubers, from what I understand. Like Australian YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what their name is. Apparently, they're popular, but I looked them up, and I truthfully haven't heard of them. So I mean, I don't know. But I'd say of those three, I'd seems I think the general consensus seems to be that Get Out is the strongest. But I like
Oh
all
yeah.
three of them in their own different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
So not like they're related exactly, but if we're comparing the three, I think Get Out was the most impactful though. So
Yeah, the most solid too. Like,
yeah.
is that it or?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So
Okay, I just watched a couple random ones. Just because they were on a list of, like, I was just browsing Reddit, like what's the most, like, what's the biggest twist, like, last couple frames movies.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't like most of the, I thought they were all, I mean, I looked them up before I watched them and they had good
Okay.
ratings and stuff, but I thought they were just generally average.
Yeah.
The Guest
Okay.
do you know that one?
I've heard of it. I don't think I saw it though. Is that the one that has like Bradley Cooper in it? Or...
No,
Okay.
no, I don't know any of the actors really that were in it.
Okay.
It's just about like an army vet that came back, saying he was a friend of a son of like, he came to this family's house saying he was a friend of their son that passed away,
Okay.
and just, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was a little corny at bits, but he was like, yeah, he turned out to be like some super soldier guy and trying to get away from the army. And but oh, Lance Reddick was in it though for a bit.
Oh, no, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, and he was cool.
All right.
And then I watched The Invitation.
Oh, I haven't seen that one either.
It was all right. It was pretty
Yeah.
slow, but like pretty interesting.
Nice.
I like that one more, even though it was like a bit slower. It was like about a couple that had been estranged after their child's death, and then like 2 years later they come back, and like the mother, like you could see the dad's still pretty messed up about it. He's all like, just show he has a new girlfriend and everything, and his life is looking to be on the up, but like the wife went in a different direction. She like kind of joined this cult thing that we kind of learn
Yeah.
about, and then that one had an interesting last scene that was pretty sweet to see.
Yeah. Cool.
Even though it did play, the most of the movie just played out fairly straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did see The Killer. That's the big one I saw.
Oh, nice. How
David
was it?
Fincher's new movie. It's good. I liked it. Liked it a lot.
Good.
People are like up and down on it on the internet and shit, but I thought it was pretty good. Like,
All right.
it's definitely not his best work, but solid for sure. And like funny. It's really funny.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Fincher can do comedy pretty decently. Like
Yeah,
when he has humor in his movies, it's not often. But...
Yeah, this one, and it's really like, it would go like, the comedy I think was going over people's heads because they're saying it was all cringe and shit, like, which David Fincher can be like, if you Fight Club is full of cringe. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's like full of cheesy angst.
Yeah, cheesy like writing and stuff, but I think it kind of fit with this movie. It was hilarious because it's like about a hitman, and it's very like throughout the movie he's like monologuing to himself, like voiceover monologuing. Like,
nice.
he's like just giving all these rules about being a super badass, and he like the first 20 minutes is basically him just setting up for a kill, monologuing to himself, and then he fucks it up immediately. And the rest of the movie is him just basically breaking all his rules and being a bad hitman, like competent. Like, he's definitely a competent hitman, but like,
nice.
It's funny.
All right.
I recommend it. Yeah.
Good. All right. Yeah. I mean, I pretty much usually always watch all of David Fincher's movies, you know.
Yeah. Finch, man.
Yeah, I watched Mank. I mean, that was...
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, that was... it was tough to watch. I didn't really enjoy it, but the more I think about it, the more I do appreciate certain aspects of it. You know, but...
And that was the Netflix one as well?
Yeah. That was the last one of his I saw. I think that was the last one you did before this, so I guess that would make sense, but... Yeah, he's usually pretty dependable. Like, generally, he always makes a really solid movie. So,
yeah, this one was solid.
Yeah, good. I'll check it out for sure. You know, I like the idea of him making a movie about a hitman, so I'm already sold on that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not expecting like what was that one movie with Tom Cruise, Collateral? You remember that one? That was
Yeah.
wild. Oh man, that dance club scene. Like that was like John Wick before John Wick, except it was Tom
Right.
Cruise. Oh man. All right. All right, cool. Well, I guess is there anything else or are you good?
No, that's about it. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and dive right in here. So this was your pick.
My pick was 2001's Finder Fee, directed by Jeff Probst from Survivor, the host of Survivor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Got to check out his directorial chops. Yeah.
yeah. He directed one other movie too that I was thinking of maybe choosing at some point, but I don't think I will.
Okay. What's that one called?
Kiss Me, I think.
Kiss Me. All right. Maybe I'll watch it on my own time when I'm bored or something. I'll be like,
just because it not just not. I mean, I might watch it as well, but it's like I think just a romance drama, so I don't think it would be very interesting to talk about.
yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's understandable.
And he was one of the writers for this one as well, but not that other one. So,
Okay.
but the other one's more recent, 2014.
Oh, all right. Well, I wonder if it's on Amazon Prime or something.
I'm sure it's on. This was on a bunch of stuff, so yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's readily available. Finder's fee.
Yep. I'm so I guess trying to figure. I guess I wonder if he got this because of Survivor. I think Survivor started just straight up 2000.
Okay.
I'm assuming that he was allowed to do this because he got yeah, and he's done other stuff before Survivor as well. He did what was it, Celebrity, some type of Jeopardy on MTV.
Yeah. I've
host
seen
of
him
that.
around. I've seen him in a few places. But Survivor seems to be his like biggest claim to fame. So
Oh yeah, and that's Survivor is Jeff Probst now basically.
yeah,
He's all in on it. He's like the executive producer. He's basically the now. Well, not the creator of it, but he runs it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is a 2000. Yeah, it's 2001.
Yes.
It's I don't know, like a drama thriller kind of thing. It could be almost like it could even be made into like a stage play because it takes place just in one apartment building or one apartment.
Oh, yeah.
So like even could be, and it's just it does take place just continuously. There's like no time skip type shit or
it does have like a stage like quality for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and in both in its presentation and in its writing. So
yeah,
which is kind of what I thought was interesting about it actually.
Yeah. The main character Tepper, it starts out with him finding a wallet in the streets of New York as he's coming home to prepare for a poker game, like the weekly poker game with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
There's this other kind of he has a girlfriend that he's about to propose to as well. I don't know what the hell, like, is she some type of actress or something? I don't really know what their deal is, but they had some 6-month deal. I didn't really understand. Like, were they not doing it for 6 months or were
something like that? Either an actress or a model or something. But I mean, she seemed to really like him. So
yeah. And I don't know what the 6-month deal was. They like kept bringing it up, like, oh, 6 months. You can wait till tonight. And 6 months is over or something.
Yeah. She even when she was on the intercom at the end, she's like, "I waited 6 months for this."
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what this was, but
or
why they had to or anything like that.
Yeah.
So there's that, but the main thing is the poker game. The main story takes place around the poker game, and this wallet. He looks through the wallet. He doesn't really find anything, he finds like a credit card, some bus pass maybe, or no, I don't think he even finds that, but he finds like his name, he's just a firefighter, so he finds like this firefighter ID thing, or he was a firefighter. And he also
Yeah.
finds a number for
Yeah.
apparently his cousin or something, or stepbrother or brother-in-law. I don't remember exactly who it was, but so he calls that number, says that, yeah, I have Avery's wallet. He here gives him an address, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable giving out my address to a
Yeah.
stranger, but he did anyway.
Yeah. Only in 2001.
Right.
Was this pre 9/11? Was
I
when this
think it
was
must have
made?
been. I think it probably was filmed at least pre 9/11. It
Okay.
came out in 2001. So
Okay. All right. So maybe people were just less paranoid then. Yeah.
yeah, right. um, so yeah, he gives him his number and his address straight up. Um, oh, and there's this. I mean, there's that. There's this old lady too that does randomly come into play every now and then.
Yeah.
That
Who
he's nice.
he's helped. Yeah. He's helpful to her.
Yeah, he's nice to her. She leaves her door open sometimes, and he says, "You gotta remember, close that door." Oops. She's like a nice little old forgetful old lady.
Yeah.
And then the main cast, I guess there's uh not LeBlanc, Mathew Lillard.
Oh yeah.
um he's plays a Mathew Lillard type character.
Yes.
Energetic, kind of fast talking Matthew
Yeah.
Lillardy. Like he doesn't stray
Yeah.
far from his character persona.
Yeah. Although I will say, this movie, what was interesting about this movie, when you mentioned it felt like it could have been like a stage play or something. I almost felt like all the other characters were trying to match Matthew Lillard's energy a lot of the time, like a lot of the other actors in it, because the other actors were definitely playing with a lot of energy and emotive, like kind of intensity, like he was. He just happened to be, Matthew Lillard, as in like the guy who looks like he could bite your head off.
Yeah. Yeah. Um then there was Ryan Reynolds is in it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he lives in the apartment building that the main character does, I think.
I think so. Ryan
Because
Reynolds, yeah.
yeah, because one of the things was they all get a lottery ticket because they're playing poker. They all get a lottery ticket, each one of them, and they're not.
Yeah.
One of the rules is they cannot look up the number before the game, because eventually, like they play for the lottery tickets as one of the hands, one of the pots. So they're not allowed to look it up, but Matthew Lillard comes in and is like saying, "Oh, fucking Quigley, I know I heard it on the TV. I heard him listening." And then, so that comes into play later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's what I kind of liked about this, is they did sprinkle things throughout that you didn't really expect to come into play later, but they do.
I agree. Yeah.
And then there's just, who else? There's one other dude, the main character.
Yeah,
Matthew
and then there's
Lillard,
the good guy with the pompadour or whatever.
the camp counselor guy.
I think that was him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Him.
Bolin was his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's weird. I don't know. He was just kind of there. He was
Yeah, he
was like a
much.
nice guy kind of thing.
Yeah, he was trying to be the responsible one in the room. So
Yep.
kind of like in Reservoir Dogs, he would be like the Mr. Pink. I'm the one trying to act like a professional here.
Yep. So they all start arriving to this poker game. Ryan Reynolds is, I guess, a wine salesman too. That's his job. I don't know what fish is. Like, that's what they call
Fishman.
Fishman Lillard. Matthew Lillard.
Fishman.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But he's he's big into gambling.
Yeah.
is all I gathered is like he owes people money and stuff. So he's one of the guys couldn't make it, and he's like, "What? He owes me $50. Come on."
Yeah.
Um,
You can kind of tell he's the one who tends to be pushing this gambling night thing.
yep.
You know?
And oh, even before they arrived, the girlfriend was there, and she did look at the numbers and write it down. And then so technically, and the main character spots the numbers too, so he technically knows he has a losing ticket. And then but as he's going through the wallet, he's like, he notices that, oh, I have this winning ticket, because that's the whole point of the movie, is that in the wallet there's no money or anything, but there's a lottery ticket, which these lottery tickets are weird because there's only 3 numbers, which I don't think is realistic. That just stood out to me because, like, I don't know, I figured a lot of people would win at just a 3-number lot. I don't know, I guess. I don't know, I'm not I'm not good at math, but
well, in the world of this movie, I guess 3 numbers is enough.
Yeah. For $6 million. So I think in the moment he switches out his losing ticket with the winning one.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This is after he calls up the guy saying he has the wallet.
Yeah.
So I bet
before he finds the ticket.
Yeah. So I bet he wish he didn't call him up after that. But
yeah, because the rest of the film is basically him trying to like hide the ticket, which you wouldn't think would be that hard, but
yeah. But yeah, everyone starts showing up.
Yeah, there's a lot of minutia, a lot of small talk.
Just a lot of character stuff. Them, behaving as friends that do this poker night every night. And then eventually, when they start settling down to start playing, the guy supposedly comes for his wallet, and they let him in. He gives him his wallet, and the main character's trying to, Tepper is his name, he's trying to push him out, like, come on, okay, you can go now, you got your wallet, thank you, bye. Like, he's trying to quickly get him out, but the other guys were like, oh, we're missing the dude, why, he can join us, why not have him play? And
Avery, he's played by James Earl Jones.
Oh, right. Yes.
James Earl Jones. The voice of Darth Vader himself.
Yep. The man. Yeah. He's kind of trying, like, I don't know. He's okay. No, this definitely, because he's definitely trying to stay for reasons we find out later.
Yeah, we find out way later.
I actually like this movie a lot now. Like, I was mid on it until the end.
Yeah, the ending kind of made me love it.
Yeah. So he's like, trying to be like, okay, I'll leave, but I would like to play. They, for the dealer, they play a short game of just like whoever gets close to the dartboard wins, and James Earl Jones bullseyes it, but hands it off to, I don't remember which another character to be because he's like, I don't play much. And there's always like, they keep getting distracted over and over. There's a rule. They did also have a rule that I guess it doesn't really matter. That it was like they're playing 50-cent max raise with 3 raises max, but yeah, that didn't really come into play.
Not really, no.
Because they played like 2 hand. Mathew Lillard does say that we've only played 1 hand at one point, because that does happen. But at one point, cops show up.
Oh yeah, they kind of barricade the whole building, they call everybody up and on the radio or whatever, and or on the intercom, and tell everybody that they have to search the building. So
yeah, and this is still at the point where Tepper is trying to get James Earl Jones out of the building. Like, no, come on, we have a guy in here that he wants to go back to his wife. Can you please leave? Come on.
Yeah.
He tries to reason with the cops, like, we want this guy, he wants to leave, and James Earl Jones is like, I don't care, I can wait. But he's like, no, you want to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, and at first he hides in the bathroom, like, so in a way.
Oh yeah, that was weird too. Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out it's because he's paranoid. He's paranoid about his parking tickets, which turned out he had good reason to be paranoid about his parking tickets, because the cop actually got pretty upset with him about that.
Yeah, because he's a bus driver now.
Yeah.
And he's like, you could
Robert
lose...
Forster.
Yeah, Robert Forster's the cop, and he's like, you could lose your job for this.
Mm.
And
yeah, because he did bus service.
Yeah, and Tepper's the one to try that, kind of like pointing to the bathroom when the cop comes in to check them out. And
yeah,
so he's obviously trying to get him out or get him in trouble.
Yeah, which it doesn't work out too well. So
yeah, because it's just parking tickets. So there's like, okay, I'll deal with this. Expect a call from me on Monday or whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because the main character goes from trying to take control of the situation to eventually feeling bad for the James Earl Jones character.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I didn't really like about it, is it didn't really make sense too much.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it. It was a little like surprising. So, but it probably had a lot to do with the fact that that one friend of his like brought up the fact that he like visited the school at one point.
Oh,
yeah.
He was a hero and shit. He was a hero fireman, and
yeah. Which he only did that because he needed the money, like it turned out, but that made him feel bad for him because he realized he was somebody who didn't have much money and all that.
He had a wife and kids and grandkids or whatever, and he did try to give him a signed Derek Jeter card. I think that was some baseball card,
something
that was
like that. Yeah,
to compensate for a $6 million lotto ticket.
So funny.
So there's that, the bathroom thing.
Yeah. Not too much else really happens. A lot of the film is heavily dialogue based, and a lot of the dialogue is based around the various games they're playing and the rules of which and all that. And you know, and of course you have all the characters bickering, and they're all very different types of characters. So I mean, so it's pretty character based too.
So also during the movie, Ryan Reynolds brings wine over, and the main character is like opening up the wine bottle and accidentally cuts himself. Because it's when the Avery dude calls up on the intercom, he gets surprised and like cuts himself on his finger on accident. So that comes into play during the one and only game of poker they actually get to play full out. Yeah, which is the game that involves so what they do is they put all the lotto tickets into the middle, and it's like an elimination game. Whoever has the lowest hand will get booted out, and then whoever, kind of like Survivor, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So one man standing, one person left. So they all, and then I don't know why, but Fish made a rule about not letting people out of their seats.
Oh yeah,
if you get out your seat, you're out of the game. And so, it was funny. Like the Bolden character kept saying he smelled like cat piss for some reason.
Yeah. That was weird.
He's like, oh, it smells so bad in here. It smells so bad. And then eventually, like between hands or something, like Ryan Reynolds steps up to go open a window, and he's like, you're out too. And Ryan Reynolds argues it, but I don't know, it's generally pointless. And then there's a funny scene with him and the camp counselor character or whatever, that are like peeping toms on some other For whatever reason. I don't know why that's in there.
Yeah, that was really random.
Yeah. Um, so it gets down to just Fish, the main character, and James Earl Jones, Mathew Lillard. I don't know who the main character is played by.
Oh yeah. I know, I think he was on ER. I recognize him. Um I
Eric
can't think of it.
Palladino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it ER that he was on?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was on ER, yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember him from. So television actor. So that's, so maybe he was able to get maybe Jeff Probe was able to get a hold of these people, from having worked in television. Like,
Yeah,
so
maybe.
yeah, there you go. Like maybe that's like
So
the path.
what's funny too is I was just looking through trivia earlier. On the DVD commentary, Probst states that he and Eric Palladino did not get along and argued frequently.
Oh man. Darn.
Yeah, it's funny shit.
Okay. That is hilarious. I love learning stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's down to these two characters or three.
Yeah.
And the main character kind of like opens his wound again against like the bottom of the chair or something and says, "Ow, shit, let me go rinse this off or rebandage myself in the bathroom." And there's a little bit of an argument between James Earl Jones and even Fit because he's like, "You're out," because he steps up and goes to the back, tries to go to the bathroom, and he's like, "No, I had to do this." And even Mathew Lillard says, "No, it's fine. He can come back." I don't know why he's exempt from that rule.
That's funny.
But yeah, he's bleeding everywhere and shit, but he sneakily takes another deck of cards to the bathroom. He does his whole ruse, making himself bleed to stack his hand because he wants to win. He's trying to cheat.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds comes in right after him to take a piss. But we see that, there's evidence left around in the bathroom. Like there's the box of the deck of cards on the counter, and there's like a card on the floor of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And
so he wasn't very careful.
Nope, he was an idiot. And then we're back at the poker game, and it's what's his James Earl Jones Avery. James Earl Jones has a good hand, but so does, since he cheated, he put 3 aces in his hand, but he notices that one of the aces, because he has a pair of 3 aces, one of the aces was one of the cards that James Earl Jones had. So then everyone would know that, somebody's fucking around with the cards, because it was an ace of diamonds. They both had an ace of diamonds in their hands.
Yeah.
So so he's freaking out. Tepper's freaking out. Like they're telling him to show his cards and everything. Or was that a different part? I don't know. There's a part where it takes him a while to show his hands, and he does take a while to show his. So it's at a different part of that. I was thinking of this other part, but he only shows that it's a red ace. He like I have these 2 aces, and then he like pulls out from behind the other ones that just a red ace. He doesn't show it that it's like the ace of diamonds or hearts, and then he kind of quickly shuffles it back, which is, if I was them, I would be like, why can't we see? I would think that would be strange, but
yeah. Well, I mean, though, I'd say my biggest criticism with this movie is that all these characters have terrible poker faces. Like they are not good at hiding what they're thinking in the slightest. Like you could constantly tell what the characters were thinking from start to finish.
Yeah. And there's even that bit where like Mathew Lillard kind of calls out all of their quirks except for the main characters. The main character, he's like, "I don't know you. You're you're harder to read than a Russian book or something.
Yeah.
So after that little thing, he still gets away with it. Ryan Reynolds comes in to be the dealer after Lillard's out.
Yeah.
Lillard goes to make phone calls and shit to people he owes money to, I think.
Yeah.
And then this is where the weird scene happens where like he has a losing hand,
Oh yeah.
but there's like just this montage-ish type thing of, I don't know, it's just like everything that's happened throughout the night is like,
Yeah. And the lady.
and the old lady's at the door. She's asking some stupid question like, do you think the cops checked the basement too?
Yeah.
And then,
She's asking about the cops, and he did say that he was going to be there all night and that the door would be open for her if she needed anything. So.
and Ryan Reynolds is telling him to, come on, play your hand. Let's see your hand. Put your hand out. Come on, let's see it. Come on. And it's just this weird scene of just like a lot of flashbacks and just it's trying to, I think, just show that he's distracted or whatever. And
yeah,
he lashes out at the old lady. He like says her to shut, I forget, put a sock in it or something. And then
yeah,
she's all, he gets up to go say, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. And then she's that was mean. Oh, I felt bad for her there.
yeah, yeah. I felt bad for her too. I can watch a million murder scenes, but I can't watch a guy yell at the old lady.
Right. But he goes. So she goes back to her apartment. He sits down, and Ryan Reynolds is like, "Come on, all right, let's see what you got." And Avery, the James Earl Jones, had a good hand, and he had a losing hand. But when he comes back, he has a flush for some reason. He's like, oh, and he. This is where I don't really understand. He tried like throughout. I guess he's turning a leaf or whatever. Trying because I guess at one point he does try and put the winning lotto ticket back in the Avery's pocket, but that wasn't able to. But he does try to fold. And then Ryan Reynolds was like, no, don't do that. You have a flush. Here you go. You win. And then this is where shit starts going real fast, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, because, as far as the ticket and everything goes, he has to sort of keep up that ruse.
Yeah.
Because then they eventually ask if he can call them and stuff. So.
Yep. So he says like let's split it if we win, or no matter, like I guess at the beginning he says let's split it. So he's acting funny already.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense if he's gonna try and cheat and win. So maybe he says let's split it later. I don't know. And then they say, okay, call it up. And so the main character calls up like the lotto ticket line to see what the numbers were, and he's like, oh, no winners.
It's like, okay.
But and like I guess Bolin, no, this is, I don't even know when this happens, but Bolin almost rips up all the tickets, but I guess that doesn't really matter either because he leaves before the climax of the movie. He like kind of bounces.
Yeah, he's like he's just eventually says, "Okay, I'm going."
Yeah. Was that? I think it must have been after. It was after I think he yelled at the old lady because I think the cops said, "You can all, okay, coast is clear. Everyone can do whatever now." And he yells at the old lady, and then I think the teacher leaves. And it just leaves, the main character, James Earl Jones, Ryan Reynolds, and Mathew Lillard. And then as soon as I noticed it, because I noticed this when that teacher leaves, Ryan Reynolds is the one to close the door, and then he locks it. I was like, huh, why'd you do that, Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
And then it just starts going real quick. It's insane.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds just picks up a wine glass and smashes James Earl Jones over the head.
Yeah.
And like everyone just starts freaking out. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, the last 10 minutes of this movie are where it gets real, and stuff ramps up, and it was probably I thought it was the strongest part of the movie.
Yeah. Because Ryan Reynolds put pieces together that he does have the winning lottery ticket. Because he listened to it before, and then because he already knows the number, so he must have at least at some point throughout the night seen the ticket.
Yeah,
and realized that it is his. Because even before this, when they're starting to put the play, James Earl Jones says he always plays the same number every week.
Right.
He gives this whole story of he goes to this place across the street from his church, but this time the owner wasn't there. He was sick or something, so his wife put it in, and so maybe she's the one that is the reason why. But then I lost my ticket, and now here we are playing this game of poker. So he has this little monologue of how all this happened, and then Ryan Reynolds just smacks the shit out of him with a wine glass and says he has the winning ticket. It's the birthday of his granddaughter. You guys didn't know, but I did. Oh, Quigley here. I'm the smart one.
Yeah. And it's also roughly around this time that he reveals that the main character had hidden some aces.
Yep. He's like, yeah, and you cheat because you cheated too. And he also said he cheated as well. Like Ryan Reynolds gave him the winning hand. He's like, you didn't see that either, did you? And like, he's confronted by Mathew Lillard that you cheated me with his hand. He's like, yeah. He shows his losing hand or whatever he switched it out with. And there's just an argument back and forth who should get the money or who's gonna do what, and the main character is trying to give the money back to him or back to the guy. He's like, no, he's leaving here with the ticket, and he's like, no, it's too late, and there's some talk about like everyone knows he won. We can't like they're saying, I don't know. I think they're gonna maybe insinuate they were going to try and kill him and get rid of the body or something at one point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He says no, he's leaving with the ticket or whatever. The main character tries to. And also like after Ryan Reynolds smashes the dude, they call the cops, but they do get through and say the address, but like the phone gets ripped out by Ryan Reynolds. So the cop eventually returns. Robert Forster. He does return. He's like, I'm getting sick of you guys. And
James Earl Jones just plays off the blood on his face.
Yeah, he's like bleeding from his head, saying, oh no, we were just roughhousing. And it got a little out of hand, but I'm fine. Didn't need to call you guys. You can leave. And the main character's like, no, you need to take this guy out of here. He has the winning lotto ticket. And then the cop is like, this is stolen property, isn't it? Well, I'm going to take this and you can have it Monday. So it's kind of implied that the cop is going to take it, and just use it for himself. And that's what the conversation is afterwards. Like, oh, I wish, like, Mathew Lillard, you idiot, why'd you do that? You stupid cop. And everyone basically leaves at that point besides James Earl Jones and him. And he reveals that he did switch out he didn't give him the winning ticket. He had the winning ticket and gives it back to him.
Yeah.
So they do a little dance. Literally.
Pretty much, yeah.
Quite literally, James Earl Jones does a dance, and I thought he was gonna have a heart attack at one point because he's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
but no.
that's what I thought too. Yeah. That would have been a good twist.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
But I like the twist they gave even more.
Yeah.
So like James Earl Jones leaves, skipping down the hallway, and then I don't know, presumably an hour, a couple hours later, maybe he gets a knock on the door, and then some other guy says, "Hey, I heard you have my ticket, or not my ticket. I heard you found my wallet." And,
Yeah.
and he has his bus ID, Avery Phillips, the
Yeah.
name of the character. I heard you have my wallet. My, brother-in-law or my cousin or whatever said that you have it. And then he's like, "Oh shit!" And then it ends.
Yeah. Yeah. So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It turned out James Earl Jones pulled a fast one on everybody.
Yep. Yep.
It was good. And I should have known too, because that had to have been the reason why he wanted to stay around,
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't in any urgent need to leave, and everybody else was so wrapped up in their own problems that none of them noticed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
just like real life. Yeah.
There's a nice little twist at the end there.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that coming. That part I didn't. I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I didn't see it coming either. It was a good twist. There were a lot of good twists at the end there.
Yeah.
Most of the movie were just these guys talking turkey, but eventually it gets going and gets pretty exciting. So
yeah, you should put it on Broadway because it could totally be it takes place in one night, couple hours, just that one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. This could totally be done, like redone with an entirely different cast, and it could probably be pretty entertaining. Like, I bet even community theater productions could do it. Like, it's got a pretty small scale, pretty straightforward. You just need a table and some chairs, and I don't know, it's doable. So
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I
was pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out Jeff Probst, or whatever his name is, Jeff Probe.
Probst. Yeah.
Probst.
I think the B is pro. Yeah, it's hard. It's Probst. Yeah. Okay.
Probst.
Take some practice.
Yeah. Well, I know he has published some young adult novels. Books for teens. I think they're survival books, and I sell them at my bookstore. But turns out, he may know what he's doing behind the camera a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't say the film was spectacularly directed or anything, but it wasn't like poorly directed either.
Yeah.
There was enough going on in it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it's a good Tubi movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd probably give it like a 3, maybe even a 3.5.
Yeah, I was thinking a 3.5 too, because of that ending, and it they were pretty I mean, Mathew Lillard's always great. It was funny. It had some fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was memorable, and just his sarcasm. And he's like, "Wow, this is fun!"
Yeah. And Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds played a different character than Ryan Reynolds. He was definitely more subdued than your general Ryan Reynolds character.
Yep. Ryan Reynolds was really sinister. I thought he was pretty cool in this. Was this pre or post Bolthead? I think it was post Bolthead.
Bolthead?
We did it on the show once. It was an early Ryan Reynolds joint.
Oh.
Or, well, not a joint, because that would mean he directed it, but it was an early Ryan Reynolds production, I guess. Boltneck or Bolthead, whatever it's called. Maybe it's Boltneck.
It might be Bolt Neck. I'm not seeing Bolt
Yeah.
Head.
Oh yeah, Bolt Neck. Maybe it was Bolt Neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was after Bolt Neck was 2000.
Oh man. Okay. All right. We're slowly turning the pages of the Ryan Reynolds catalog. Excellent. I love it. And then how many James Earl Jones movies have we done on this show? I think this might be a first. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
couldn't tell you that.
Yeah. I can't help but feel like he was in something else, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
Probably. It's probable, yeah.
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 Like
I liked it.
like maybe he had like a cameo in Cruel or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it 3.5 as well because of the ending was fun and didn't see that coming. Nice little twist.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. I definitely enjoyed it. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to try to be like a neo-noir, like technical thriller.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
like I watched the trailer for it because that's how my friend showed me. I was like, oh, gotta watch this because he's a friend that watches Survivor with me, and he's like, did you know he did this? And so I watched the trailer, and it looked like a way more intense thriller than what it was.
Yeah. It was cool. I can imagine this being advertised in a certain way where it made it look more epic than it actually is. It's more small scale, you know. It's just a bunch of guys in a room like chatting and arguing, basically.
So I'll give you some trivia too.
Yeah.
The story was inspired by a real life incident. Jeff Probst found a man's wallet on the street with a name but no phone number, so he called another person's number that was inside. The man answered, said it was a cousin of the owner, and instructed Probst to mail it to him. Probst said he always wondered if that other man was really a cousin.
Oh, that's kind of mysterious. Uh-oh.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I
guess
can see why. Yeah, he felt compelled to write this based on that. You know?
Jeff Probst only had 17 days to shoot the film because he had to return to his commitment as host of Survivor.
Wow. So this was like a little side project that he got invested in, like on his time off from Survivor. Yep. He's a busy guy. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Oh, and here's one last bit. Here's Probst developed the script in a writing workshop. Stephen Baldwin liked the script and used his connections to help Probst get the film made.
Wow, that's awesome. So this film wouldn't exist without Stephen Baldwin himself.
Yeah.
That's wild. Oh my gosh. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, I'd say if you don't have anything else to say about it, I would say check it out. It's a good one.
Yeah. I'd say check it out. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. If you happen to be on Tubi scrolling through and you want like a small little movie about like, you know, just with a simple plot, you don't have to like get too, it's complicated, but not too complicated, you know, and maybe a tiny, quirky little movie. You gotta check out Finder's Fee.
Yeah. Check it out.
Look it up. It's not bad. I liked it a lot. And yeah, you did too, you said? 3.5?
3.5. Yeah.
It's a solid recommendation. 3.5. We don't give movies on the show that kind of rating very often. So
yeah.
Finder's Fee is worth watching. Good job, Jeff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But now I gotta check out your 2014 romance movie to see if you really are the real deal. All right, cool. So yeah, does that just about do it?
Yep.
All right.
That's about it. That's about all I got.
All right. Well, I'm going to choose for the next episode. I'm going to choose I Come in Peace, aka Dark Angel. So it's by the same director. I believe, the same director as Stone Cold.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I remember seeing parts of this when I was younger on TV, but I haven't actually sat through the whole movie from beginning to end. So I'd be curious to see how this one is.
Like Come in Peace / Archangel.
Yeah, or Dark Angel. Yeah,
Dark
it's
Angel.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a movie I definitely have heard a lot about, but have never really checked out. So this is going to be my choice. So it looks like a fun one. The idea sounds interesting. So all right, excellent. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, and thank you for listening. And yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one.
See you later. Bye.